The condensed reflections of Marcus Aurelius serves as an abridged guide to the thoughts of Marcus Aurelius. Ideal for those seeking a quick insight into his meditations or simply needing a recap, this summary distills the essence of the original work. Over the course of 19 years, Aurelius penned his varied thoughts, not in any sequential order, often revisiting themes as they re-emerged in his mind. Rather than approaching meditations as a scientific manual about the universe's workings, view it as a collection of mental tools and supports designed to cultivate a peaceful and rewarding existence. This book encapsulates the philosophical musings of a leader burdened with the responsibilities of the Roman Empire as he endeavored to improve himself through personal notes on virtue. While I have strived to maintain the integrity of his ideas in this condensed version, reducing 50,000 words to just 4,000 inevitably means some nuance and much of the poetic quality are absent. For those interested in experiencing the full depth of his writing, a link to my complete narration of the text is available in the video description below. Number 1. Facing unkindness. When faced with harsh treatment or criticism, consider two possibilities. Either the critique is valid and you have no grounds to complain, or it is unfounded, meaning the critic is mistaken. Remember your own errors in life and respond with empathy rather than disdain. If appropriate, gently correct them without malice or the intent to show off before others. If direct conversation proves ineffective, contemplate what natural virtues can offset their shortcomings. For instance, kindness is the natural counter to unkindness. Employ it and observe the outcome. It's rare for someone to persist in being unkind if you consistently respond with kindness. Regardless of others' actions or words, your primary duty remains to uphold your own integrity. If you find you've misplaced trust in someone unreliable, reflect on your own misjudgment rather than blaming them. Acknowledge that the world contains unreliable and even malicious individuals. Expecting never to meet such people is naive. Remind yourself that encountering them occasionally is inevitable. Remember, only your reaction to their wrongdoing can harm your character. By refusing to retaliate with malice, you preserve your virtue. The highest form of vengeance is not stooping to your adversary's level. Thus, everything hinges on your response and maintaining your moral stance. Number 2. Interpretation shapes perception. Everything is interpretation, a saying attributed to a Cynic philosopher, is one that Marcus Aurelius found insightful, though not literally true. He saw it as a mental tool that, when utilized effectively, could transform one's daily experiences. Keep in mind that your reaction to events is shaped by how you choose to interpret them, not by the events themselves. You have the power to decide your perceptions and reactions. If unharmed by your own interpretation, then truly you are not harmed. When it rains, for instance, you could either become upset about the discomfort of being wet, or you could embrace the experience, feeling grateful for the vivid sensation of being alive. It's surprisingly simple to dismiss any troubling or inappropriate thought and find immediate peace. Thus, focus on mastering your mind's ability to frame experiences in a positive light. Your essence is largely a reflection of your persistent thoughts. Be mindful of which ones you entertain. Your spirit adopts the hues of your frequent contemplations. In this way, by controlling and selecting your interpretations, you can color your world and maintain serenity. Number 3. Elevate your mind above physical sensations. Your possession of both a body and a mind, with the latter being your rational faculty, sets you apart from other animals. Embracing this distinction by following nature involves utilizing the rational capabilities nature has endowed you with. Deep inside, you are aware of what you ought to be doing, but often find yourself failing to act. This lack of action typically stems from your body overpowering your rational intentions. Resist allowing physical discomfort such as pain, fatigue, fever, or loss of appetite to dictate your actions. When succumbing to these bodily sensations, you essentially make your mind subservient to your body, which leads to misery and continuous suffering. This happens because you prevent your mind from performing its rightful role. Taking command of your mind is crucial. It is only through such control that you can start to live virtuously. Living virtuously, in turn, paves the way to true happiness or eudaimonia. Once you begin to consistently follow rational principles, the transformation in your demeanor will be profound. Within a short span, perhaps just 10 days, those who once viewed you unfavorably will regard you with respect, almost as if you were divine, so long as you adhere to your principles and honor the role of reason. Number 4. Be conscious and intentional in your actions. Often, we navigate through life mechanically, engaging in routines without giving them much thought. It's time to cease this automatic behavior. No more actions should be random or devoid of foundational principles. Aim for purposeful behavior rather than aimless wandering. Approach the scrutiny of your own thoughts as though you're examining someone else's mind. Consistently question the motives behind your actions. What are you using your mind for? What character does your behavior reflect? Are you behaving childishly, despotically, or bestially? What drives you to act in such manners? By managing your actions and adopting a methodical approach to both thinking and acting, you can achieve a life free of disturbance. If you fail to monitor your mental processes, dissatisfaction will likely follow. Remember, you can always seek tranquility from external turmoil by retreating into your mind, though such introspection should be conducted in moderation. Number 5. Embrace community engagement. Human beings are inherently designed for collaboration and mutual assistance. Resist the urge to become irate, hold grudges, or cease efforts to contribute positively to society. When you view all rational beings as naturally inclined towards cooperative efforts, aiding others becomes not only a moral obligation, but a source of happiness. Cultivate warmth towards others, even when they err, by remembering that they, like you, are fallible and share the same finite existence. Recognize that ultimately we are all in this journey together, and despite their actions, they have not truly harmed you. Marcus Aurelius suggests another useful perspective. Focus on the virtues of those around you. Everyone possesses unique skills and strengths. Remembering these can improve your perception of them. When in need of motivation, think about the attributes of those nearby. The vigor of one, the humility of another, or the kindness of a third. Keeping these positive aspects at the forefront of your mind helps foster a more supportive and understanding community. Number 6. Value your self-perception above external opinions. It's a curious aspect of human nature that while we tend to value ourselves highly, we often place even greater importance on the opinions of others. This observation is not an encouragement towards self-importance, but rather a reminder to prioritize your own judgments and actions, regardless of external feedback. You are aware of your motives and the reasons behind your actions. There's no need to justify yourself to everyone. Moreover, it's problematic when we seek approval from those we don't even hold in esteem. Consider how paradoxical it is to crave recognition from people you do not respect. To mitigate the obsession with external approval, Marcus Aurelius advised reflecting on the true impact of such validation and recognizing its triviality in the larger context. Fame and approval are fleeting, especially in a transient world. His advice culminates in advocating for authenticity and simplicity in our interactions. We should avoid pretentiousness, unnecessary rhetoric, and the temptation to ingratiate ourselves with others. Instead, strive for honesty and directness in all your dealings. Number 7. Embrace the value of being corrected. Accepting correction is preferable to persisting in self-deception. You should not perceive changing your mind as a defeat or as succumbing to external forces. Choosing to revise your opinions in light of new evidence is a voluntary and dignified decision. Ensure that your changes in perspective are not merely responses to social pressure or attempts to curry favor with others. Remember, the decision to adapt your beliefs and accept correction is an act of autonomy driven by your own will and rational judgment. Number 8. Respect the freedom and rights of all. Embrace the principle of enduring others' freedom of speech. Since controlling others is not within your power, focus instead on managing your own reactions. Make it a habit to listen sincerely to others, even when their truths are hard to hear. Strive to understand their perspectives by putting yourself in their shoes. Pay careful attention to what others say and try to understand the intent behind their words. Uphold the principle that everyone's rights are equal under the law. My brother inspired me with the vision of a society governed by equal laws, where everyone has equal rights to speak, and rulers respect the freedoms of their citizens. Acknowledge the corrupting influence of power and the malice, cunning, and hypocrisy it can engender, as well as the often surprising ruthlessness exhibited by those from prestigious backgrounds. If you ever find yourself in a position of authority, remember these observations. Guard against becoming tyrannical. Exercise caution to ensure you do not become like Caesar, stained by the corrupting influence of power. Number 9. Maintain your self-respect. Incidents will occur. Strive to be the individual that philosophy seeks to shape you into. In every action, question whether you are honoring yourself and whether you might later regret your choice. Be vigilant against any urge to voice beliefs that do not align with your true convictions. Reject any action or gain that compels you to compromise your principles, lose your dignity, or harbor resentment towards others. When anger stirs within you, recall that there is nothing noble about succumbing to such emotions. True manliness is characterized by politeness and compassion, traits that define both a true human and a true man. Strength, resilience, and bravery are the hallmarks of a person who maintains these virtues, not someone who is prone to impulsive, passionate outbursts and dissatisfaction. Number 10. Refrain from complaining. Ensure that you are neither domineering nor subservient to anyone, and regardless of the circumstances, eschew the habit of complaining. Carry out your responsibilities quietly. If you are capable of handling the task at hand, proceed without grumbling. If the task is beyond your ability, seek assistance without feeling embarrassed, but maintain a non-complaining attitude, even in your private thoughts. This approach helps cultivate a demeanor of resilience and self-sufficiency. Number 11. Transform obstacles into opportunities. In life, the presence of obstacles can often indicate the path forward. When faced with adversity, embrace it by asking, "What opportunities does this present?" This approach extends the idea that your perception of an event can either mitigate its impact or turn it to your advantage. The mind has the capacity to repurpose obstacles for its own use, turning barriers into springboards for action. While it's true that no one desires misfortunes like a car breakdown, once it happens, the productive response is to consider the potential benefits that can arise from it. This mindset, where obstacles lead to new opportunities and saying "good" in the face of adversity, promotes a healthier, more proactive lifestyle than dwelling on complaints. This concept is highlighted in a notable clip by Jocko Willink, linked in a video description, which encapsulates this attitude effectively. Marcus Aurelius frequently utilized such mental frameworks, viewing them as practical psychological strategies to ease life's difficulties. These mental practices enable you to maintain happiness and composure, even in situations that might typically cause upset. Number 12. Accept adversity as a natural element. Understand that adversity is an inherent aspect of nature. The universe remains indifferent to individual existences and will inevitably present challenges that can disrupt your life. Embrace these as inevitable. Difficulties, setbacks, and tragedies are simply part of what it means to be alive. Everyone faces them. Marcus Aurelius stressed that since such events are governed by divine will or fate, it is futile to wish them away. Instead, it's more constructive to seek the inner strength to withstand these challenges. Pray not for the absence of difficulties, but for the courage to face them without fear, desire, or grief. This approach shifts your focus to what you can control, developing a resilient character rather than lamenting over the whims of fate. When adversity strikes, aim to be like a headland that withstands the relentless breaking of waves, firm and capable of calming the turmoil around it. This stance not only helps you endure, but also enables you to shape the chaos into something manageable. Number 13. Strength arises from adversity. Marcus Aurelius elaborates further by asserting that adversity is not just inevitable, but beneficial as it strengthens us. Rather than lamenting misfortune, he suggests viewing it as fortunate that we can endure such events unscathed. There's a paradoxical beauty in how life's challenges present us with opportunities to test our resilience and grow stronger. In every situation that might lead to sorrow, remember to leverage these moments for personal growth. This mindset turns seemingly negative experiences into chances for development, emphasizing that true strength is forged in the fires of adversity. Number 14. History repeats itself. Marcus Aurelius reflects on the idea that encountering hardships is not an anomaly, but a part of life that has been experienced repeatedly throughout history. He suggests that what seems like misfortune can be an opportunity to demonstrate courage, which in itself is a form of good fortune. He reminds us that the universe is perpetually changing, yet in essence there is nothing new under the sun. The challenges you face today have been confronted by others in the past. Whether it's betrayal by a friend, being overlooked for a promotion, or personal disappointments, these are all experiences that humanity has endured across the ages. Rather than succumbing to despair, outrage, or shock, which are reactions that have been repeated by countless others, choose to let these minor setbacks slide off you and focus on what truly matters. Maintain perspective to manage such situations effectively. Reflect on those who have faced similar challenges before you, their initial reactions of shock and indignation, and consider their current insignificance. Ask yourself if their path is the one you wish to emulate. Instead of getting caught up in the chaos, focus on constructive responses, treating your experiences as raw material from which to build and learn. Pay attention, aim to meet your own standards, and use everything life throws at you as a resource to forge a meaningful existence. Number 15. Focus on practicality and immediate tasks. Keep in mind that our true concerns should be with matters of significance. With this perspective, embrace practicality and address the tasks directly before you. Eliminate aimlessness and distractions, and maintain a steadfast focus once decisions are made. If peace of mind is your goal, choose to do fewer things, but do them well. Approach every task as if it might be the last you perform, ensuring dedication and precision in your actions. Avoid being swayed by fleeting emotions that contradict rational thought. Clear your mind of superfluous worries and prevent emotions from projecting fears into the future. Instead, master these feelings and channel your focus onto the present moment, particularly on the task at hand, as if it were your final act. Dismiss fantastical thoughts and the impulses that make you react impulsively, as if controlled by unseen strings. Confine your thoughts to the present moment through diligent practice. Over time, this practice can make achievable what currently seems impossible. Whenever faced with a challenge, question yourself, why can't I endure this? Often, you'll find the justification lacking, pushing you to overcome and persevere. Number 16. Prioritize virtue and expect challenges. Avoid obsessing over physical attributes that you cannot change, and steer clear of desires for the unattainable. Instead, cultivate virtues within your control such as honesty, dignity, endurance, austerity, patience, sincerity, moderation, seriousness, and magnanimity. With this foundation, dedicate yourself to doing what is morally right and be ready to encounter opposition. If an action isn't just, refrain from doing it. If a statement isn't truthful, refrain from saying it. Commit to truthfulness and justice without concern for recognition or reward. When performing acts of kindness, do them without expecting anything in return. Such acts are rewarding in themselves and contribute to a virtuous life. The true pleasure and peace come from progressing through a series of selfless deeds. Your duty is to act virtuously, irrespective of how others react. Do not let the wrongful deeds of others deter you. Do not anticipate flawless results. Rather, find satisfaction in even minor progress and the mere attempt at doing good. If your goal is to consistently strive for virtuous action, then success is defined by your efforts, not just the outcomes. In matters of personal fulfillment, focus on your own actions rather than others' responses or opinions. Even if you face criticism or hostility, especially in a leadership role, the crucial factor is to remain steadfast and not be swayed by the desire for approval. Number 17. Fulfill your responsibilities and reject timidity. It is the duty of a leader to do good, even in the face of criticism. Train yourself to aspire solely to act virtuously, undeterred by the opinions of others. In this vein, commit to your responsibilities and scorn timidity. Stand firm in your convictions, independent of others' support, and perform your duties courageously. Consider this analogy. Like a soldier, you should remain steadfast at your post, as assigned by life or your superior, and confront adversities without concern for personal risks, such as death. Your focus should be primarily on the morality of your actions, rather than the dangers they might entail. You err greatly if you believe that a person of integrity gives precedence to the fear of death over the necessity to act ethically. A truly honorable individual is concerned only with whether his actions are just and whether his conduct reflects that of a virtuous person. Number 18. Act now, for life is fleeting and death is inevitable. Understanding that life is brief and death inevitable compels us to act immediately. Commit decisively to values such as justice, honesty, courage, self-control, and rational behavior. Reflect on how often you've delayed actions or squandered opportunities. Time is precious, and you don't have as much as you might think. Forsake the pursuit of external approval and procrastination. Make the decision to act today, not under the illusion of endless tomorrows. Death looms over us even while we live. Thus, while you have the capacity, strive to be virtuous. Once you choose to live righteously, you'll alleviate much of your internal strife. Your suffering stems from postponing goodness until tomorrow instead of embracing it today. Marcus Aurelius advised thinking of the past as dead, leaving you with a new, shorter life starting now. Live it well. consider yourself reborn. The past is behind you. Now focus on living what remains to the fullest. It's also dishonorable for the spirit to falter while the body still has strength. As you age, the likelihood of becoming a prodigy diminishes. Perhaps you once envisioned yourself as a future genius or champion. Even if those dreams haven't materialized, continue to nurture your character and contribute positively to the world. Abandoning grand ambitions doesn't mean giving up on achieving personal freedom, humility, service to others, obedience to spiritual principles, or justice. Just as you accept your physical limitations, accept the limits of your lifespan. Death will come for all. Fearing what lies ahead only hinders our ability to act courageously in the present. Number 19. Master the art of recovery. Keep in mind that life is full of disruptions, and it's essential to master the skill of regaining your balance. Life can be likened to an obstacle course. Even the wisest can be thrown off course by unforeseen events. When such disruptions occur, it's crucial to recenter yourself promptly before moving forward. Regular practice of this recovery process will enhance your ability to maintain your composure. Whenever life's circumstances jolt you, quickly return to your inner calm and try not to lose your stride more than necessary. Frequent return to your inner harmony will strengthen your grasp of it. It's inevitable that, at times, you will relapse into old habits or negative behaviors that you thought you had overcome. Recognize these moments and actively pull yourself back on track. Ignore any inner voices that suggest giving up because of a setback. Do not allow feelings of frustration or despair to take over just because your day isn't filled with noble and wise actions. Instead, rise again after each fall, celebrate the progress you make, however flawed, and continue to engage earnestly in your chosen endeavors. Stay wary of pride and the temptation to show off, as these not only divert you from your goals, but also cheapen the validation you receive. Pride is a deceptive force that can beguile you into believing you are engaged in significant pursuits, when in reality, it's leading you astray. Thus, in all situations, focus on sincere and authentic actions over appearances. Number 20. Uncover the true nature of things. To reduce the influence that external things have on you, it's essential to perceive them as they truly are. Consider, for example, that costly wine is merely elaborate grape juice, and the imperial purple robes are just wool stained with shellfish dye. This principle of seeing things in their basic form applies not only to objects, but also to actions and the underlying motivations of people. When evaluating others, look at the fundamental principles that guide their decisions, what they seek to avoid, and what they strive toward. Picture their inner essence laid bare, what drives their affections, their admiration, or their vanity. Consider whether their disdain truly has the power to harm anyone, or if their approval genuinely benefits anyone. Ask yourself if you really desire praise from someone who is perpetually dissatisfied with themselves, or if you want to win the favor of someone who cannot find contentment. When confronted with others' scorn or hostility, assess the character of those casting judgment. Often, you'll find there's no need to go out of your way to impress them. Nonetheless, continue to treat them with decency. They are human after all. Always strive to speak the truth as you perceive it, doing so with compassion and humility. By adopting this approach, you gain perspective and mitigate the undue influence of external judgments and material possessions on your life. Number 21. Understand that material wealth is neutral. Recognize that material wealth itself is not inherently good or bad. Its value depends on how it is utilized. The term goods, commonly used to describe possessions, can be misleading. Owning numerous possessions might actually complicate life. suggesting that they are not inherently beneficial. The true valuables in life are your virtues, such as respect for your own intellect and contentment with your own character. If you constantly covet material things, you will never experience true freedom. Instead, you'll be plagued by envy, jealousy, or fear of loss. Similarly, those who excessively desire wealth or those who disdain it and feel guilty for possessing it are equally bound by it. It's healthier to adopt a stance where wealth has no power over you. Make prudent use of wealth when you have it, but be equally ready to part with it. Utilize it confidently but humbly, without arrogance. Consider wealth as if it were absent, and reflect on how much you would long for your possessions if you did not have them. This exercise can help temper your attachment to them. However, be cautious not to derive so much satisfaction from your belongings that the thought of losing them would be distressing. This balance is crucial in managing how you perceive and interact with material wealth. Number 22. Cultivate a spirit of gratitude. Marcus Aurelius dedicates the entire first chapter of Meditations to expressing gratitude for the lessons he has learned. Among the virtues he appreciated are the development of his character, the management of his temper, fostering generosity, charity, and maintaining a sense of humor. He valued the importance of education, the willingness to endure hard work, the simplicity of desires, and the resilience to engage in manual labor. He also highlighted the importance of not interfering in others' affairs, avoiding gossip, steering clear of trivialities, writing plainly and clearly, tolerating free speech, and reconciling with those from whom he had become estranged when they showed readiness. Other qualities he was thankful for include purposefulness, self-control to avoid distractions and emotional overreactions, accepting gifts graciously, and offering praise modestly. Aurelius stressed the irrelevance of superficial accolades, the avoidance of the too busy excuse, listening empathetically to friends, showing respect to teachers, genuine affection for children, and treating others as they deserve. He advocated for a willingness to listen to proposals for the common good, refraining from overly criticizing others, deferring to experts when needed, exhibiting dignity without pretension, and ultimately, embodying the qualities of a good man rather than merely discussing them. Through his reflections, Aurelius teaches us the importance of living a life filled with gratitude for both the big and small lessons. Thank you for watching the video all the way through. If you enjoyed this content, please remember to subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. Your support helps us create even better videos in the future. Also, feel free to leave a comment below with your thoughts or any questions you might have. See you in the next video.